All right, so we're supposed to meet at 12:30, and it's about 5 minutes to 1. So Sally, you need to get your vegan game up. Hold on, let me fix this so you can see it. Almost 1 o'clock. Vegans don't be late. I'm just kidding. So this is Turnip Vegan, and I'm chilling here with Sally. What's your last name, Sally?
Taylor.
Taylor, Sally Taylor. So before I start digging into all these questions with Sally, I just want to kind of give you a little history. So I met Sally through my boy Jordan. Shouts out to you, Jordan. We both have something in common. We're both vegans, and Jordan knew that. He's not vegan, and so he just kind of connected me to her Instagram. And right away I started to check it out, and I'm like, okay, you know, she's newly vegan. You know, I know some history to that too, and we'll talk about that, but newly vegan, and I'm like, cool, I'll follow her. That was about 2 months ago, and about a week ago I looked on Instagram and she won some type of competition, and I'm just like, how does that happen in such a short period of time? So tell us about yourself and, you know, why you decided to go vegan.
Okay, so once again, I'm Sally. I've been a competitive athlete since I was 13 in volleyball. I played 3 years of Division II college volleyball in New Jersey, and I first went vegan in New Jersey just because they're not very health conscious out there, and the food there was like not organic like it is in California over here, and so I made the transition at that time. But as an athlete, a competitive athlete, especially in college, I didn't really have any guidance, and I was failing at it. Not proper food combining, all that stuff. So after about 8 months of that, I decided to reincorporate meat, dairy, fish, and eggs, you know, traditional athlete food, into my diet again, and messed with my hormones a lot because once my body was able to detox all that stuff out of it, I reincorporated it back, it's like it really affected me. So I kind of went back and forth with it, trial and error, questioned why veganism is even a good idea, and it wasn't until July of this year I realized, you know what, veganism actually makes a lot of sense, and I decided to start competing in bodybuilding, the bikini category specifically, as a high-carb vegan, because there was a coach in Australia that has successful clients who she's trained, and I was like, well, I want to be one of them. I think I can do it. I love working out, I love eating healthy, so the diet, the restriction doesn't seem like an issue. So I did that, and in about 8 weeks I was able to go from 130 pounds to 115, and from 20% body fat to 12% body fat. So I was able to lose 15 pounds and 8% body fat in 8 weeks, you guys, on a vegan diet, no fat burners, no diuretics, just strictly plant foods and herbal tea. So that was really effective for me, and ever since then it's just been like awesome. I have another competition in December on the 2nd, and then another one on January 6th in Anaheim.
But I think you got first place. I mean, I may have been looking wrong incorrectly, but
I like forget
your first
that
competition,
I won.
you got first place, right?
Yeah, I did win the overall in the open category. It was all natural contest. It was my first one, so yeah, it was successful. I wasn't even planning on doing it. I'm supposed to be competing on the 4th of November, and I decided to compete a few weeks early because my dad needs me to work with his company. We sell Cajun and Creole food. But anyway, besides that, like, yeah, so I competed early on October 7th, and I came first in 2 separate divisions that I competed in, and then also the overall. So yeah, 3 separate divisions I won as a high-carb vegan.
That is incredible. And so I'm learning right now, as you guys are learning too. The reason why I wanted to connect with Sally, we've been talking about this for a while, right? We just never did it.
I know, it's been like crazy.
It's been crazy, but after I saw that competition, I said, when I get back from Hong Kong, I got to figure out what type of plan she's on and what's your motivation. And so, are you basically saying that being competitive in the bikini contest is the reason why you went back vegan?
No, I just kind of reached a point over the summer where my hormones and my body was just like, I was unhappy with all of it, and I reflected back on when I was vegan, and I didn't have all these issues with instability of my emotions and cognitive dissonance, if you know that term. Just like my morals were not being consistent with my actions and my beliefs. So yeah, I just decided like I think it's time to actually like stick with it. So I would say that I've been vegan for 4 years, just because like I've like been researching about it and I tried it, and it's been on and off. Like you don't necessarily have to be perfect with the diet. You like want to do your best, but eventually you'll get there.
Right.
But as long as you believe in the approach of veganism and how all sentient beings have the right to not be treated as property.
Right.
You know, we're not equal, but we do have the right to just be unified and be working as one in the universe.
And me personally, as a vegan, I'll be a vegan for a year next month. That was not the reason why I went vegan. I went vegan for more health reasons, and I felt like I was lied to when it comes to the things I've always been told to eat. And I feel like I was poisoning myself. And so that was my reason. And after, you know, meeting people like you and starting getting involved in the vegan community, I started to see the bigger picture. And so I want to ask you a question. So I always have people ask me, like recently, yesterday, I had a friend, Anthony, shouts to you too, bro, that asked me like, how do you go vegan? Like, how do you just cut meat out of your life? Like, I mean, if you think about it mentally wise, this was always put on our plate.
Yeah.
You know, at school, they gave us either, you know, white milk or chocolate milk. It was just like embedded in us. And so how do you break something like that?
I think a big one is staying off of television, because there's so much advertisement trying to program you into thinking that eating flesh and blood is like, because that's essentially what it is tasty and attractive and beautiful. When you see pictures of vegan food on the internet, like fruits and vegetables and color, that's sexy, that's beautiful, that's sexy. Attractive. Yes. So yeah, just try to stay off TV as much as possible, one, and then also downloading apps, and like Happy Cow is a great one to search
Happy
for.
Cow.
Me too. It's like a lifesaver when you're traveling the world.
Yes, I love Happy Cow.
For finding local restaurants that are organic and vegan, or sometimes vegetarian, specifically vegan. But yeah, that's a great one. And then also finding a guide, like maybe a person or a coach or a program or an ebook that can help you with the transition and making recipes. Meal prepping is like life-saving. It saves money, saves time. You know, it's a little bit hard at first because you have to get out of that habit of like going out and like getting food that's pre-made. So yeah, that's a great one as well.
So do you think being vegan is expensive?
Oh my gosh, it can be, especially in California. You know, organic options are expensive. They're harder to find. So I mean, it can be, but if you plan your meals, then I think it's way cheaper than eating meat, honestly. I
agree. It's like when I go to Sprouts, and nothing against Sprouts, I love Sprouts, or Lazy Acres. Why do they open that store right across the street from my house? I'm gonna send a letter to the president, like, yo, shut that store down. But anyway, if you shop at stores like that consistently, yes, it's expensive. But Trader Joe's is my go-to.
Yeah, everything's like $5 in there.
Yes, everything is very cheap in Trader Joe's. And so how do you, I mean, like, I'm still trying to wrap my mind. I'm still going through a transition, and I'm still learning. I see my body shifting. I feel good. But like, how do you just, in 2-3 months, and I'm gonna show, if you allow me to, your before and after picture, like you went through the quickest transition I've seen in 3 months. And so was it just eating a strict vegan diet, or was it just going vegan?
Honestly, it was mainly eating high complex carbs. So there's simple carbs. I'm also a nutrition student at Miramar, San Diego.
Check it out.
I'll be a junior next year, so almost done with that degree. But anyway, yeah, complex carbs are easy for the body to convert into energy. So as soon as you consume them, like potatoes, rice, beans, and lentils, legumes, all have protein, but they also have carbs in it. So eating the carbs as a vegan helps with protein synthesis and converting the protein into our muscle stores. And yeah, so honestly, the high carb was what really did it for me. I feel like a lot of vegans fail with the bodybuilding because they just kind of incorporate the vegan food as a sad American diet with you know, the meat, eggs, fish, the protein, low carb, and it doesn't work, honestly. So yeah, that was a big one. And then also the tea. I don't know if you see me posting about the organic loose leaf herbal tea that I'm part of the company with.
Check, another one on the checklist.
Yeah, definitely. Teamy Blends. Use code SATT, SATT15 for 15% off at any time during the year. But anyway, yeah, so that really helped me. It helps with detoxifying the body. If you're having trouble burning fat, it's a sign that your body's highly toxic and they're stuck in the colon. So it just helps with elimination, and you'll feel it working right away. It fights bloating. That was a big one for me since I don't take any fat burners. And then I also drink hydrogen potential alkaline water that's electrically induced.
Yes, that's all I drink. That's one thing. That's one change I did make, and I do feel a difference in my, especially when it comes to acid. Like I don't feel like I have heartburn anymore. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, and it also helps with when I take my protein or BCAAs, because those are the only proteins I take to avoid catabolism and also the breakdown of muscle in my body. That helps with converting all those nutrients into my cells. So the water, like drinking alkaline water, is really important. You want to stay away from bottled and tap water. That's like Arrowhead and Dasani. Like those have like added like sodium in it, and no, all you need to do is really add like Himalayan sea salt to mineralize it. So that's really important.
And alkaline water is so expensive, and that's what kind of deterred me from it. But I did find that Lazy Acres, you could bring in your own container. And it's like 99 cents per gallon, so that kind of cut my excuse for being expensive. So I mean, I'm learning that already, and it just so what is your go-to meal? Like my go-to meal would help me transition to vegan was curry. Like I love curry. Most of the foods I ate, didn't always left me hungry, and so curry is one thing I use to kind of transition. What's your go-to meal?
I mean, I love this dish called it's like a vegan Brazilian dish called feijoada. Yeah, it's really good. It has black beans and quinoa and also white rice, complete essentially amino acid profile, so really good for building muscle. And I also sprinkle nutritional yeast on it.
I love nutritional yeast.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Like every vitamin, like it's so good.
Dash, thanks for putting me on to nutritional yeast. My homeboy Dash was telling me about it for about 2 months. I was like, what is this stuff? Oh, I put that on everything. So yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It tastes like cheese.
It tastes like cheese.
Nutty flavor sometimes.
It makes my curry a lot creamier.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for that extra creamy taste.
I love it. I can sometimes eat it by itself, honestly.
Nice.
It's really good.
So what's next? I mean, I know you're doing the body. What was it called?
It's just like I'm doing the NPC bodybuilding contest for the bikini category, so it's a little bit different. They want to focus on a small waist and developed glutes and hamstrings, so where the other ones are more like physique, so overall like just getting as big, and that's where you'll see them take steroids, so I'm staying away from that. My body type is the bikini category, so I just want to get as far as I can with that.
She's ripped. When you see these pictures, I'm just like, I saw your transition slowly on Facebook, Instagram and Facebook, and then I saw those last pictures, and I was like, I have to find out why she's vegan and how the whole process works. So just to take a step back, you said you started off vegan, and I know a lot of people that started vegan did it for maybe 2 months, and I'm like, you're there, you made it past the hardest part, and then I'll see them go back. So why'd you stop? Was you kind of experimenting, or?
No, as a college athlete, I didn't have any, especially on the East Coast where people aren't really as health conscious, I didn't have anybody to help me and guide me and tell me what foods I should be eating and what foods to avoid. Even the vegetables in the cafeteria were like soaked in butter, so like it was just really hard. I was on a budget because I was a student athlete, I couldn't work, so it just was like at the time like more convenient for me to not eat fruits and vegetables. And I was actually raw vegan for the first 3 months as a college athlete. I saw that. I don't know if I could do raw vegan. Yeah, it was intense. Like my body was seriously detoxing, you guys. I felt amazing, crazy energy. It was like snowing, and I was like running like 5 miles like in the snow and doing sprints. Like it was insane. Everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. But I did lose a lot of weight. I was really skinny. I did have a lot of acne because my body was detoxing, and a lot of people were like, okay, is what you're doing even really that healthy? And I was like, yes, it is. It's just detox. You don't get it. But anyway, so after about like 5 to 8 months of doing the raw vegan and then converting to cooked foods vegan, and then just realizing, you know what, like this isn't sustainable for my situation. So as soon as I was able to like hold on to doing it correctly, that's when I was like, which happened to be this summer, I was like, okay, let's do it.
Okay. So we talked about benefits. Let's talk about some of the tough things. To you, what is the hardest part about being vegan?
Milking the cows at 5 a.m. every morning. No, I mean the almonds. Milking the almonds, sorry.
That's the cows or something?
I was like, milking the almonds at 5 a.m. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's the social. Constantly having people question you and just having to like fight for your beliefs all the time, and people mocking you and making fun of you when all we're trying to do is represent compassion and like peace overall in the world. So that's definitely the hardest part in my opinion. I don't personally have like an emotional connection with food to where like I feel like I'm missing out on something if I don't eat it, but that is for some people. But yeah, it's mainly just like people constantly like challenging me and why I'm doing it.
I found myself at the beginning when I first went vegan just trying to pick any bone I could. Anytime somebody had something to say, I was ready to go to war. And what's changed about me now is that I let people come to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. Just yesterday I saw like 5 people on Facebook that are part of my friend circle or my circle of friends, and they switched vegan in the last 4 or 5 months. And so the culture is changing, it's happening, and you know, people like you are inspiring me to keep going. And now I'm like, I never seen myself doing these videos, these vlogs. Like this was not me, but I'm just like, I gotta have a way to kind of put my voice out there and let people know how much it changed my life. I'm not no young dude, but I feel young.
You look young.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The hardest thing for me being vegan is traveling. Like we went to Hong Kong, and so on the flight, you got to request vegan options 24 hours before, but it had vegan options on the menu, so I thought it was cool. And so I went 15 hours without almost eating, and then same thing on the way back. And so I think traveling is the hardest part, and so, you know, try to learn from others, try to, you know, kind of prepare yourself, maybe bring some, you know, vegan options with you, but to me that's the hardest part.
I agree with that.
Definitely the hardest part. So your next competition is November?
No, I was supposed to do November 4th, but I'm doing December 2nd. So I will be at the Scottish Rite Center on December 2nd. I'm really excited because it's my first NPC contest, and those girls are like, you know, they're on low carb, they're depleted, but they're also like taking like fat burners and like other stuff. So
they're cheating.
They are cheating, and I'm gonna be out there representing it healthy, natural, and vegan. And I'm not gonna be depleted. I'm gonna be full of nutrients. I'm gonna be feeling good. Like
out there shining. What did you expect? All right, so going into this competition, the one that you won.
Yeah.
Where were you expecting to place in your mind? Where do you think you would place at?
Honestly, people kept telling me that I was gonna do really well, and I just tried not to let that get to my head. I just tried to not let any expectations fill my mind. You never know who's gonna show up. You never know what the judges are looking for that day. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna not cut any corners. I'm gonna give my 100% and just like whatever happens, happens. And I kept it a secret. I didn't tell people. Like,
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't tell people like I'm competing this weekend. Like, you know, like when I did get the results, I told everybody because I wanted to see what would happen because I didn't want to look foolish. You know what I mean? So the key is like to remain humble. Don't let your ego get in the way. Because the last thing I want to do is be disappointed of how hard I've been working. Right. So that's a good way to avoid that. It's just no expectations.
So how did it feel when you were on stage and you got first? How many trophies did you win?
3, and
that's
one
crazy.
Big one.
3 trophies. I'm sitting there looking at Instagram like, dang, this is crazy. You know, but it just motivates me to see someone that is 100% plant-based win this competition against all these meat eaters. And so it's one win for the vegans.
Yes.
And so I was excited, but I mean, how did you feel when you got all the trophies? And
I was crying up there, and everybody was like, why are you crying? Like, you know, this is a natural competition, it's small, like it's not a big deal, but like I went through a lot the past few months. I mean, if you guys see on my Instagram where when I first won the competition, posted pictures, I give kind of my story of what I've been going through. I got out of a long-term relationship in July, and that's when I decided to go vegan. It's been really difficult dealing with that, so I really got to see how strong my mental game is, trying to push past any blocks that I have and just keep working hard and knowing that I'm gonna be rewarded no matter what if I don't give up. So that was like when I won on the stage, I was just like, you guys have no idea like what I've gone through to get here.
That is great to hear. And
amazing.
I know your ex, if you see your pictures, he's probably throwing up. Like, go vegan, man. See what happened to your ex in a couple months, and so yeah, it's just awesome. You want to share your Instagram, or how can people connect with you? And then you do multiple things. I saw you're certified yoga. I saw that, of course, you're working on your degree for nutrition. And so yeah, I know people will want to follow you probably more than me, so you know, make sure to share your information. So
my Instagram is Sally Irina Fit. I'm sure he'll tag me in it so you guys can find me easily there. But yeah, you also see that I'm working on getting my certified personal trainer certificate through NASM, which is the National Academy of Sports Medicine. So and then having a nutrition degree, I think I'll be pretty like credible to guide anybody that wants to experience whatever goals that they have successly on a high-carb vegan diet. So yeah, I can't wait to start having clients and helping people.
That is brilliant. If you got any advice for anyone that is maybe watching this video and thinking that, hey, you know, maybe I could go vegan, but I don't know how to start, do you got any advice for that person?
Honestly, the first step towards change is being accountable and being responsible for wherever you are in life. If you're unhappy, looking at yourself and saying like, I got myself here, I can get myself out. And then right there is when you can start progressing towards whatever you want, and then deciding exactly what it is you want.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So making goals, being determined to accomplish those goals, that's how you're going to achieve them. So yeah, those two things is where you guys should start, and then seeking guidance. Finding somebody to hold you accountable when you feel down on yourself, because that does happen. We're human beings. We are going to get discouraged. We start working towards something good, we start looking at people who are already there and being motivated, but there are times where we like start comparing and saying, can I even get there? Like, they look so good, like look where I'm at right now. Like, I experienced that, that's why I'm saying that. So yeah, definitely just stick with the path and never give up, and yeah, find a coach that can help you and answer your questions while you're experiencing
that. Do it for yourself. And the big thing is educate yourself. Like, there's so many documentaries out there. I didn't give no credibility to no documents until one of them said, go search for yourself, go educate yourself. Don't believe me, don't believe Sally. Go educate yourself. If you need us to point you in the right direction, we're happy to do that. But educate yourself and know what's right and what's wrong, and I think from there you'll be able to move forward. You know, so this is great. This is great, and to have the opportunity to connect with you is just brilliant. So we're gonna say peace out, Allie. So it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, people. I mean, why not come to the lovely beach of San Diego, get a chance to get some fresh air, meet some cool people. And so just to kind of put in perspective, the main reason why I'm gonna start doing these type of videos is I get a lot of questions about, you know, how do I feel, and you know, what steps I should take to go vegan. Everyone's different, and so to get different people's perspectives, I think is key. And as you can see, her journey is different than mine, but we all got one common goal, and that's you know, to stay healthy, break the chain and the cycle of being lied to, and also, and this is my passion as well, is to be compassionate about other beings on the earth. You know, I saw somebody post the other day, is it wrong for me to eat chicken in front of my bird? That person told themselves, you know, in their conscience, that person knew it was wrong. It's totally wrong, but we're so trained and so conditioned that we just kind of overlook it, like it's nothing, like it's not even really a big deal. This is how things are supposed to be. But your mind told you what's right and what's wrong. You just gotta follow your heart. Turnip vegan, your boy out. Peace.